The Kybalion, Chapter 8, continue. Public domain here. So De La Tesla, Dress Majestic, finishing Kybalion. I'm going to start on the mental planes because I got interrupted on the plane of, I think it was a plane of C or something. Let me see, what was I? We're going to start here with the plane of matter A. The plane of matter A. The plane of matter A comprises and forms of matter in its forms or liquids, solids, liquids, and gases as generally recognized by the textbooks on physics. Plane of matter B comprises certain higher and more subtle forms of energies of the existence of which modern science is now but recognizing. The phenomena of radiant matter and its phases of radium. Recognizing the phenomena of radiant matter and its phases of radium, etc., belonging to the lower subdivisions of this minor plane. The plane of matter C comprises forms of most subtle and most tenuous matter, the existence of that which is not suspected by ordinary scientists. The plane of the ethereal substance comprises of which science speaks of as the ether, a substance of extreme tenuity and elasticity, pervading all universal space, and acting as a medium for transmission of waves of energy, such as light, heat, electricity, etc. This ethereal substance forms the connecting link between matter, so-called, and energy, and partakes of the nature of each. The Hermetic teachings, however, instruct that this plane has 7 subdivisions, as all have the minor planes, and that this fact there are 7 ethers instead of but 1. Next above the plane of ethereal substance comes the plane of energy A, which comprises of ordinary forms of energy known to science, its 7 subplanes being respectively heat, light, magnetism, electricity, and attraction, including gravitation, cohesion, and chemical affinity, etc., and several other forms of energy indicated by scientific experiments but not as yet named or classified. The plane of matter B comprises 7 subplanes or higher forms of energy not as yet discovered by science, but which have been called nature's finer forces, and which are called into operations and manifestations of certain forms of mental phenomena, and by which such phenomena become possible. The plane of energy C comprises 7 subplanes or energy so highly organized that it bears many of the characteristics of life, but which is not recognized by the minds of men on ordinary plane of development, being available for the use on beings on the spiritual plane alone. Such energy is unthinkable to ordinary man, and may be considered almost as the divine power. The beings employing the same are as gods, compared even to the highest human types known to us. The great mental plane comprises those forms of living things known to us as ordinary life, as well as certain other forms not so well known except to the occultists. The classification of these 7 minor planes, 7 minor mental planes, is more or less satisfactory or arbitrary, unless accompanied by elaborate explanations which are foreign to the purposes of this particular work. But we might as well mention them. They are as follows. 1. The plane of mineral mind. 2. The plane of the elemental mind. 3. The plane of the plant mind. 4. The plane of elemental mind B. 5. The plane of animal mind. 6. The plane of elemental mind C. 7. The plane of human mind. The plane of mineral mind comprises of the states or conditions of the units or energies or groups or combinations of the same, which animate the forms known to us as minerals, chemicals, etc. These entities must not be confounded with the molecules, atoms, and corpuscles themselves, the latter being merely the material bodies or forms of the entities, just as man's body is but his material form and not himself. These entities may be called souls in one sense, and are living beings on a lower degree of development, life, and mind, just as little more than the units of living energy which comprise of higher subdivisions of the highest physical plane. The average mind does not generally attribute the possession of mind, soul, or life to the mineral kingdom, but all occultists recognize the existence of the same. The modern sciences and modern science is rapidly moving forward to this point of view of Hermetic in the respect. The molecules, atoms, and corpuscles have their loves and hates. likes and dislikes, attractions and repulsions, affinities and non-affinities, etc. And some of the more daring of modern scientific minds have expressed the opinion that the desired and will, emotions, and feelings of the atoms differ only in degree from those of men. We have no time or space to argue this matter here. All occultists know it to be fact, and others are referred to some of the more recent scientific works for outside corroboration. There are the usual 7 subdivisions to this plane. The plane of elemental mind A comprises of the state or condition and degree of mental and vital development of the class of entities unknown to the average man, but recognized to occultists. They are invisible to the ordinary senses of man, but nevertheless exist and play their part of the drama of the universe. Their degree of intelligence is between that of the mineral and chemical entities on one hand, and of the entities of the plant kingdom on the other. There are 7 subdivisions to this plane. The plane of plant mind, in its subdivisions, comprises the states or conditions of the entities comprised of the kingdoms of the plant world, the vital and mental phenomena of which is fairly well understood by the average intelligent person. Many new and interesting scientific workings regarding the mind of life in plants have been published during the last decade. Plants have life, mind, and souls, as well as have the animals, man, and Superman. The plane of elemental mind B